I swear, I hate playing Wolves. I hate playing Wolves. It's always a frustrating game. It's always a battling game. But there we came away with 3 points thanks to Marcus Rashford, who came off the bench and scored the winner. And what a cracking goal it was, by the way. I think he's playing... No, I don't think. He is in the form of his life at United. And I stand by Erik Ten Hag's decision to put him on the bench for disciplinary reasons, right? Erik Ten Hag has been trying to maintain control over this Manchester United squad. Everything that went on with Ronaldo and everything that's happened in between since. That there was a show from Ten Hag. It doesn't matter who you are, even what form you're in. Rashford's our most in-form player. And he dropped it to the detriment of the quality of our football in that first half. But he brought him on in the second half, and Rashford delivered with a fantastic goal. A great move that started out on the left, a 1-2 with Fernandes. Great strength, great poise. And the finish was there too. And we needed that because in the first half, we had Martial, we had Anthony, and we had Garnacho. The clinical edge wasn't there. The quality wasn't there. But Marcus Rashford came up trumps. And yeah, it's a huge... You might not see it as a significant step, but it's another step in the management of Ten Hag, of this squad, of these players, of keeping them in check. That he's even willing, in a short-term pain of dropping Rashford to the bench, and maybe we're not as good going forward, to the long-term gain of what that's going to do to his ability to manage these players and the respect that these players have for him. And Rashford came off the mat. I tell you what, man, that was such a good goal from Rashford. Running in from the left, wonderful 1-2 with Fernandes. Who could have possibly predicted that Fernandes would be involved in our match-winning goal? Fernandes is so influential in this team, and getting angry is the wrong way to describe it, but it pisses me off how much criticism he gets. But Rashford there, he didn't score many goals like that. Real strength, barging through, holding his body position. Obviously, it was a very Rashford finish. Head down, over the ball, power, hit it hard and low. But it's just great to see Rashford doing that. And we needed that because I tell you what, in that first half, man, Anthony Martial seemed like a yard and a half behind the pace the whole game. Every decision, he could have been a step ahead. He could have been a little bit closer to the ball. He wasn't quite there today. His finishing obviously wasn't there, but I mean his overall movement, his edge. It lacked pace, and Anthony was very Anthony. I think Anthony's played pretty similar in his last couple of games for Manchester United. He's played pretty similar for the last couple of months for Manchester United. Anthony, unfortunately, is too predictable with the ball at his feet. He just doesn't seem to want to take his man on. I don't think it's a case of want. It must just be a pure confidence thing. Because we know that Anthony can do that. We saw that at Ajax. And I think that's something that Ten Hag is trying to get out of him. But he was pretty ineffective in that first half. I would say ineffective is the wrong way to describe it, because he was actually quite effective in creating the space and dragging the Wolves team wide and the defence wide. But his final product just wasn't there. His final pass, his final run, his final shot. Just that last and most important touch just wasn't there from Anthony. And it wasn't there from Garnacho. Garnacho, I was surprised that he went off for Rashford. If I was looking at the half-time, I was like, who's going to go off for Rashford coming on? I would have put Anthony ahead of him, and I would have put Martial ahead of him. But Garnacho went off. Ultimately, Ten Hag made the right decision. We won 1-0, 3 points, clean sheet, we move forward. Garnacho had a brilliant chance in that first half. I think it was a decent save. It was a bit like was it Nottingham Forest or was it Burnley? I can't remember which game it was, where Garnacho was put straight through after like 7 or 8 minutes, and you back him to score it. Now, you might be screaming, Garnacho, all he's got to do is chip there. Mate, he's 18, man. His finishing game isn't going to be perfect, precise at this age. I know that. But I'm sure the goals will start flowing again, because he definitely helped our attack in that first half. And the main thing I want to take away from that, three main things. Number one is Marcus Rashford and the form that he's in, and I'll speak about him again in a little bit. Number two, I want to speak about how that game there, it just showed that we need a new striker in January, right? And the word I'm using there is need. I'm not talking about want. We need one. And I'm not just saying that because Anthony Martial had an ineffective game, because Anthony on the right-hand side was ineffective, or Garnacho didn't do enough. I'm just saying that because it's a pattern that's been going all season long, and I didn't need more evidence of it. But that was more evidence of it. Ultimately, Marcus Rashford made the difference, and it didn't lose us any points. But it's happened so much this season, not with Garnacho, it's happened so much this season with points that we have dropped because we just haven't had the clinical edge. We need a striker in January. I don't think we've got the money to get that striker that we need that's going to make the real difference going forward. But we can't just sit and watch Chelsea sign players in January. Newcastle sign a few players. Arsenal maybe even getting Mudryk from Shakhtar Donetsk. We can't just sit and watch our rivals around us strengthen whilst we just sit and wait. And maybe we will because we've got no money. But 3 points there today. This is a cracking stat here. How much has this team improved under Erik Ten Hag, man? We've won all 10 games when we've been leading this season. 7 with clean sheets. And I've got to speak about De Gea in that game. Came up clutch with it. I mean, it wasn't the hardest save in the world, but good positioning from the corner from Wolves there with the pressure they had towards the end. A cracking save from a Ruben Neves free kick. United are keeping clean sheets. We kept a clean sheet in the last game. We've kept, what was it? I think that's 4 or 5 Premier League games in a row we kept clean sheets. No, I might be wrong in saying that. We're keeping far more clean sheets than we have done before. And I tell you what is another big thing to say about that game. It's not Luke Shaw. Where is this photo? Let me pull this one up here. Where is it? I don't know where it is. This is what happens when you prepare stuff and you put stuff in different places. There they are. Varane and Shaw. Varane and Shaw. Shaw has stepped in as a left centre-back in the absence of Lisandro Martinez, who wasn't there today. I imagine we'll be hopefully seeing him against Bournemouth. And he'll come straight back in that team. And Shaw will go back to left-back. I actually think we miss Shaw in terms of the progression of the ball going forward. But as a makeshift left centre-back, Shaw's done extremely well. I think so anyway. And 2 clean sheets. It goes to show that he's done well. And today was a far tougher game than Forest. Now, on paper, you probably will be saying, Sam, look, we should be beating teams like this, right? We should be beating Wolves and Forest. Yes, we should be. But previously, we haven't. Previously, these games are the sorts of games where you drop 2 points and you get frustrated at the end of it. And it seemed like it was going that way until Marcus Rashford came up with the goods. Now, I have to, again, praise Aaron Wan-Bissaka, who I think played pretty well overall. Again, that's a couple of performances in a row now. I don't know, maybe this is a player that I'm going to be like, you know what? I went too early on Wan-Bissaka. But he's really starting. Look, that's a few games in a row now. Fair play to you, Wan-Bissaka. Keep this form up. Maybe it changes as soon as Diogo Dalot comes back and is available. He'll go straight back in that starting 11. But Wan-Bissaka, again, another game I think he can be proud of today. Luke Shaw, I'm so impressed with what he's doing at left centre-back. I really, really am. Somebody who, again, for me, was influential is Bruno Fernandes, man. Every single game. I know you can focus on those passes that he gets wrong, on the slightly wild side to his game, that he's a little bit erratic when he could calm it down a bit. And that's something that I'm not, maybe that just won't ever come into his game. But I would put him in that starting 11 every single week. He made the difference with that wonderful pass to Marcus Rashford. Marcus Rashford made a difference with a wonderful finish. And it's 3 points that give Erik Ten Hag just this momentum keeps building and building and building. And I want to refer back to it there again. Ten Hag had the balls there to drop Rashford, his most informed player, in a team where he knows he doesn't have much going forward in attack. He's not exactly spoilt for goal-scoring options. But he's dropped him and put him to the bench and come away with 3 points. And not only that, Marcus Rashford came off the bench and scored that winner, the same player that he dropped. It goes to show that Ten Hag really is making such a difference in this squad, and these players are starting to respond. They really, really are. And for me, you might not see it as a major thing. I wouldn't call it a major thing, all right? Dropping Rashford and him coming off the bench to score a winner is not a major thing, but it's just another example of how things are all heading in the right direction. And more importantly, that these players are heading in the same direction as Ten Hag. There's no infighting. There's no cliques. Maybe there are some cliques. I can't say that. But to see Rashford coming off the bench there and delivering when his manager needed him the most, despite the fact that he was dropped, I think is a testament to the mentality that is being built inside this squad. Now, look, that's a win against Forest and a win against Wolves. We're into the top 4 now. I think for the first time this season. Things are looking up. I'm enjoying it. You're enjoying it. Have a cracking new year. But let me know who your man of the match was in the comments below.